Welcome to the pre-pod.
Mama's got her Friday cocktail. Have you ever heard the song? It's an old song and it's like, dream, 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 dream. Dream, dream, dream. Whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. Dream, dream, dream. Okay, that's something to cut out. All right, we need to bang this out. Can we focus or not? Do you think this might be one of those things where we don't get it done and we have to do it over the weekend? We got a baby, it's a boy.
I'm literally dying already. It's so hot.
It's hot.
Do you...
Listen, if we take 10 minutes to record and this is a mock, it's okay.
Okay.
At least we're like a little, at least we know where we're going.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome to that one time I was sexy.
Hey guys, welcome to that one time I was sexed by an alien. My name's Samantha.
My name's Janessa.
Ooh, you're so gross. No, it's not what I want. Can you just go to the right fucking page, you whore? My phone is a whore, not Brie, sorry.
Like, it's okay, honey, don't worry about me. I got my swipes.
Next level, bitches, let's get it. So let's start off. Okay, what is lucid dreaming?
You tell me.
I thought you'd know.
No, I know. Okay, you can ask me again.
Do I have to Google it? Fuck, I will. I don't know the exact definition.
Wait. Did you show up again unprepared?
Always.
All right, ask me again. I know that. Don't worry. Don't pull up the Google. Don't pull up the Google.
I feel like I know what lucid dreaming is, but I don't want to like be unspecific with it and like not have it right. Brie, what the fuck is Brie?
Wait, let's start a clean, fresh slate. Dad, get the demons out. Have you seen that video? And it was like this girl, and she's like, "You see that right there? That's me. I squirted." No, you haven't seen it?
No.
My mom showed it to me.
Is she like filming like a wet spot or something?
Back when Tosh.0 was like the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's like this girl, like a selfie, like, away from the corner, kind of like how you like to take your pictures.
Yeah.
She's like, you
MySpace
see that
angles
right there? That's me. I squirted. And she's got like this buck tooth. You could like fit a grilled cheese in between.
Oh man.
Like, damn bitch, shot's pretty damn sexy.
I would like to talk about Oming for a second. Because Brie, so I was on Instagram and there was like a sponsored ad for like the Om shop, and I was like, it's like a crystal shop, and I was like, ooh, Brie, can we go to the Om shop? And she like looked at me with like this look of disgust, like absolutely not. And I was like, what? And then I showed her the picture and she's like, oh, crystals, that's not what I thought that was.
No, I thought it was at the Buddhist temple in Santa Cruz, like on the top of Mount Madonna.
Mm-hmm.
The Buddhist temple there, they have a cute shop if you go downstairs. They have a shop where they sell stuff like that.
You know that I went to school there, right?
Well, then how come I was like, oh, that's probably the Buddhist temple thing where you could go down there. Not where the school is.
Well, so where that Buddhist temple is where the school used to be. And then after I left, they built the campus up above it. But where the actual Buddhist temple is where I literally went to school at.
So then you still wouldn't know where it was that I'm talking about.
Probably not, because it's different. No, me and Danny went up there maybe a month ago, and we went and walked around.
And you went down?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because there's a shop there. They sell stuff like that.
I don't know if they were closed, so I didn't particularly see anything. But I went to school up at Mount Madonna.
I know.
I went to the Buddhist school that was there.
And you're still ain't zen. What the fuck?
I'm still not fucking zen. They used to make us go to morning meditation classes, which are
I would die.
Super fun and dandy.
Sounds amazing.
Except that we're a bunch of teenagers who are tired, and they wanted you to lay down and close your eyes.
Yeah.
Every single one of us slept. The entire year. And then they moved meditation to afternoon meditation because I thought that would help, like, later in the day.
Like, no, I just ate snacks.
No,
I'm
exactly.
ready for that now.
It was nap time. So it was midday nap time. And then they eventually gave up on meditation as a class because they were like, this is just a nap period. Yeah.
Well, that's half the struggle with meditation, so that's okay.
See, we got way off track. Anyways.
Per usual.
Per usual. Oming, why don't you explain to me what oming is?
I cannot.
Okay, I'll try. It is a meditation technique where a man's fingertip and a woman's clitoris meet each other, and they have a special connection.
The word meditation here is used lightly.
Very
it's
lightly.
Not your typical, it's not a real meditation.
No. And it is the man's job to stroke said vagine. Vagine. Very softly and slowly. He's not trying to get the woman to come.
Right.
He is only trying to bring her to a state of bliss before the climax would happen.
So it is about two people finding a connection without climax being the end goal.
Or penetration.
Correct. You cannot penetrate.
No.
It is about a man learning the ways of a vagina and connecting with her and her body in a way where he feels the electricity of what's happening in her body, that he's become attuned to everything and he's able to connect to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this weird meeting zone where they're one with each other, but without orgasm. Where it's like orgasm is like, it's cool if it happens, it's cool if it's not. It's not about orgasm, but he's still playing with her pussy.
With her puss, yeah.
With her pussy.
We were
being
watching
super spiritual.
We were watching these videos, and like Bree was like showing me one, and the dude's like, he makes so much sense, and he's like talking calm, but he just kept saying the word pussy so aggressively.
Yeah, like he describes everything so elegantly, where you're buying everything. You're like, okay, this is like a journey of the body and the soul, and two humans meeting in the middle and using their sexuality as a legitimate zone of the chakras.
Mm-hmm.
But then every other word is like her pussy.
I think at the end of the video, he was like,
what the
I think at the end of the video, he said something like, this is nice, but like, you know, you're stroking pussy, so of course it's nice.
Yeah, he said something like that, and he's like, but also it just feels good to stroke pussy.
Yes, exactly
Something like that. And you're like, what the fuck?
And he had like an angle, and he had like he's like, your hand does this, but you turn it upside down, and you use this to like cup the puss, and then like this, the thumb is what you do the work with, and it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then she showed me some other video where it straight up looked like this man had his full forearm in her vagina, but he did not, because penetration's not allowed.
It was called grounding.
But it looked like he was like literally elbow deep in this bitch. And the lady in the background doing the commentary is like, see, that's a lot of pressure, but see how she can handle it. So I literally had to pick up the phone and like look at it clear, because I was like, wait, what's going on? Because they blur out part of the section, so you can't really, and so it legitimately looks like his fist is just full blown up this bitch's pussy.
I wonder if you were to go to like a porn site and you search Oming, if it's a thing.
I watched a really weird porn yesterday that actually made me irritated.
Oh God.
So someone I follow on Instagram like posted a screenshot of some porn, and they were like, hey, I know like all you freaks are into weird shit, but you should totally go watch this. It's actually really wholesome. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'll watch it. So I go and I find it on Pornhub, and I go and I pop it in, and I'm like, all right, let's see what's going on. Yo. So like think the tag for it was like small Asian teen,
No.
deep throats,
No.
and then cream pie.
No,
Okay?
I would click out. Fuck
No, so
that.
it starts off with like her literally playing video games in an arcade. And so like, and it goes on for like 3 minutes, and I'm like, okay. And then it straight cuts.
That's a lot of patience.
Yeah, and then it just straight cuts to this white dude's dick. And then she's just like sitting there fully clothed, like staring at it. And I'm like, that escalated really quickly. Because his dick is like full blown, like hard, like right in front of her.
Do you see the subtle messages? Video games leads to dick.
Dick, exactly. So, and then she's all like sucking or whatever. And like the look on her face is just like so bored the whole time. Just like,
You're taking shit.
Yeah, like,
You're taking
yeah. And then, like, he's like, you know, like, you want to take off your clothes? And she's like, no. And, like, goes back to sucking his dick. And I'm like, okay, where's this going to go? Then this really awkward blowjob goes on for a good, like, 5 minutes. So I fast forward because I'm like, something else has to happen here. So I fast forward, and then it's, like, them fucking. And, like, it was just so awkward. Like, he's, like, lays down on the bed, and he's like, get on and reverse cowgirl. And she's like, that's weird, but then does it anyways. And, like, sits on it for, like, 2 seconds, and she's like, okay, I've had enough. And then, like, rolls over and starts sucking his dick again. And I'm like, all right. So then, like, that goes on. So I fast forward through that because, again, I give 2 fucks less about you sucking some dick. And then, like, he goes to, like, bend her over to fuck her to, like, finish, obviously, right? The look on her face, like, looking back is just like, yep, you're almost done, right? Okay. And, like, she's just not into it. And then, like, at the end, she's like, please, can you not come in me? Can you pull out? And then, of course, he's like, no, and just, like, comes all in her. And then, like, afterwards, she's like, I told you not to. And then it stops. And I was like, okay. Then I further investigated. She has multiple of these videos. It's not like a one-time thing.
Oh, it's people that are into people that are not into it.
Yeah, I guess. And, like, it's like
It's
her
like
and her
bored sex.
boyfriend.
It's like, fine, I guess.
Yeah, and it was like so, and
Wow.
I didn't watch any other of her videos, but like a bunch of them came up after, and I was like, oh my, and like all of them were like, small Asian gets anal, small Asian does deep throat, and like she didn't deep throat no dick, like you didn't hear no, like it was none of that.
Wow.
And so I was like greatly disappointed at the porn recommendation, and I was like, this was really bad. Like this is like, I felt like what it was like a bad Tinder date. Like you took your Tinder date to like Dave & Buster's. You get her back to the house because you've had a little bit of like the really sugary liquor that you gave her, the mixed drinks. And she's exactly giggly like that. Like, oh, your penis. And then it's just like her coming out of her drunken state, realizing she doesn't like what she's doing, and she would really just like you to finish so she can go home.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And that's just, and it had like 70,000 upvotes, so people are like, yo, this is great.
Because people are into weird things, and
That's
I guess
weird as shit.
like into someone that's like meh.
Meh.
Like, do you like my dick?
Nah.
I mean, it's okay.
It's all right.
It's time you recommend something. Don't. And then he's like, yeah, I like that shit.
Of course
like
he
that,
likes some, of course. Well, he's like some weird chubby dude who's like into gaming.
Don't hate
And he's
on
like-
weird chubby people.
What are you talking about? I date exclusively weird chubby people, so that's not even a fucking hate. Anyways, he lives in San Jose, and I've been stalking
Shut
him.
up!
I've been stalking him for like years now. He used to live like in Florida, then he moved from like
Jaimie.
Florida to some like Midwestern state, and then from some Midwestern state to like Washington, and like now he lives in California. But he has a girlfriend, so I messaged him like months ago, and I was like, if you ever break up with your girlfriend, bitch, I'm 20 minutes from you. And he's like, got you. And I was like, all right.
Jaimie.
I did. That's literally what I said to him.
Is this a cry for help on audio?
That what? That I would like a large chubby man to...
That you're stalking some random guy on the internet that recommends weird porn, but you're still into him.
Yeah,
He said it was wholesome. Obviously, he's into it.
You know, I'm into weird shit.
Maybe if you would have messaged him and been like, I sort of think you're cute, but at the same time, meh. I don't really know.
So here's the
I'm
problem.
not really into you, but I guess I'd say hi.
The problem is that on Instagram, what I like to do is I like to go to hashtags, and my favorite hashtag
I
is
love
like
hashtags on Instagram.
chubby, like chubby and bearded. And
No,
so if
stop.
someone uses the chubby and bearded hashtag, I follow them because I want to see more bearded chubby men in my life.
You're into like the weirdest things.
I know.
Like I'm like not into anything else besides what I talk about on this podcast.
Just aliens? Just anal probing?
No anal probing, please. That's like so
gross.
1980.
I know, Brie told me earlier today if I'm ever constipated, anal's the way to go. And I asked her
Oh
if it
my
was
God,
a fun
I didn't
experience.
say it like that.
You kind of did.
I didn't say it like that. Wait, what were we talking about? What was the context? We
Oming.
weren't talking about... No, yes, we started with Oming. By the way, you guys should look it up, Oming.
Oming, look it up.
Because I saw a episode on Balls Deep a long time ago on Viceland, and it was fucking hilarious, and it blew my mind because you think Oming, this is like some real spiritual shit, but really it's like sexual spiritual shit.
Mm-hmm.
Which I kind of understand that if you were to think about chakras and energy points, that if you're going to use your sexual energy, it should be in certain situations and with certain people, and then you could really use that to explore your beings and all that kind of stuff.
But I think what people need to
I vibe with
understand
that.
about oming, though, is you don't necessarily have to have like a specific like life partner that you're doing it with. It's
Right.
really just about
You're like,
the connection.
I have a wife, but I love to own with Stacy.
Yeah, it's not like you don't go there like with your husband, like let's learn. Like it's just like random people who are like they want to have that connection with someone like they don't necessarily feel attracted to, I would say, because it's not about that. It's about just a person-to-person connection.
I also wonder if a lot of people that are drawn to oming, if most of them are people that have had either like a traumatic experience or have had trouble connecting with someone or someone that's extremely awkward with sexuality. And, you know, we watched one video of that girl that was like, my doctor told me I could never orgasm. So then all of a sudden she's like a pro-orgasmer with oming. So I wonder if that is like a lot of the people that get into oming, almost like they come from like a troubled sexuality type of background, and then it leads them there, and then they're master climaxers.
Well, I think maybe, so like from my experience, like, so like I didn't lose my virginity until I was 18. So I didn't have a lot of sexual experiences in my life. So when
That's like pretty old, right?
I know.
No, it's not. It's proper.
It is proper. And it wasn't because I was like gross or anything. Like I had a boyfriend all through high school. I just purposely waited until I was 18. I wanted to be an adult. I know the ramifications, all that kind of
Damn.
stuff. I did. And on my 18th birthday is when I knocked boots, literally. That poor Jaimie, he waited forever. We were dating for like 4 years before he finally got to stick some shit in there.
That's so funny. It's like a long time now, and people are like, oh my God, they're like 14 and they did this. And I'm like, that's like about age, isn't it?
Yeah, these days. So
My days.
I wasn't really sexually experienced, and so when I would go out and have sex, it was kind of just like meh to me, especially like in, you know, like my late teens, early 20s, I was just kind of like unimpressed because I really didn't know what was going on. I knew that a dick went in a vagina, and outside of that...
You're like, I lay here and it's like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't start understanding my sexuality until I started dating women. And I think what helped me with it is, as a woman, I was much more comfortable with being open with another woman who understood what I had going on.
Yep.
So ever since then, and I had like, you know, my experiences with women, my sexuality took off, and I really kind of honed in at what I like and what I don't like and what I'm into and what I'm not into. So I feel like maybe oming is kind of also a way for somebody to be in a safe, comfortable space to really control and take grasp of their own sexuality and understand what it is, and that it's okay to feel certain ways. Because I think maybe a lot of women, like, you know, something like, what do they say, like 70% of women don't orgasm. It's like some crazy statistic where like women aren't orgasming. And it's
sad.
I
We're
know.
just a bunch of fakers.
But here's the fucked up part of it. The reason they're not orgasming is because of themselves, nothing else. It's not about the person who's giving them sex or if they're hitting the right buttons. A lot of it is being comfortable enough to take down that wall in order to orgasm. Because
I think it's a combination.
You think, see,
I think it's communication.
I think so too.
I think that too many women are afraid to direct and say what they want. And there's too much pressure on a man to make her happy that he just does like some wild, crazy shit that he sees in a porn. And that if there's no communication and there's no like walls that are being broken down, it's just about this man like doing a bunch of crazy shit because that's what he sees in a porn. And, and then the girl just also takes on that position to be like, and like make all these noises and like do her shit. And then she's laying there like, well, that's great.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the culture of sex on the internet these days, where it's, you know, women are made to make men feel good. And I think that not a lot of men think that it's important for them to make a woman feel good and comfortable.
You know what? You would be surprised. Another show I watched on Viceland. The Slut Ever, you brought her up last episode. She ventured into this subject, and it was surprising how many men felt so much pressure
To make sure.
To make a woman orgasm. And they felt lost. They felt incompetent. They just felt like they were watching porn in order to learn what they needed to do in order to make a woman felt like that.
No.
And then, like, when they hear those noises, they feel like, okay, that's good, so, like, keep doing it. So that's what makes me feel like it's really just a total lack of communication, and then everyone just trying to kind of impress each other.
Well, I think at the end of the day, you have to remember, too, that everybody's body is different and that everybody's body expresses pleasure differently. Like, there's some people who aren't vocal about it. There's some people who are overly vocal. There's, you know.
Yeah.
So, and I think that women walk that line of, like, having to put on a little bit of a show for a man.
Yeah,
Because
totally.
necessarily, like, you see porn and the girls are always, you know, they're always making
Over
all
the
these,
top.
yeah.
And you're like, bitch, I know you're not orgasming
No, I know,
this
it's like-
entire fucking
and I
time.
know that
so
that-
just shut the
Or,
fuck
like,
up.
and it's so obvious sometimes when they're making the fake noise, like, like, and you can see their face, like, they're not enjoying it. It's
what
not,
are you
it's not, yeah,
doing?
exactly.
It's not doing anything for the both of us.
No, exactly. So I think that they have that, there's the standard that men assume that women are gonna, their bodies are gonna shake and you're gonna be making all these crazy noises and contorting and like,
The entire time.
and that's not necessarily what
they
it
want
is.
the jackhammer.
Ugh. What? Sometimes you just need to slow some shit down.
I think there just really needs to be communication, and like you just really got to do what you want to do. I think that's another thing. I feel like women are afraid to be like, this is what I want.
Yeah.
And then it's also because that's like scary. You don't want to be like, I'm directing, like, do this and
Yeah.
like do that. But
Well, especially for a man who, you know, men statistically like to be in charge of things. So to have like a strong woman be like, no, you need to eat my pussy for 10 minutes, motherfucker. Like,
yeah,
not
I
every
know.
man in the world is going to be like, okay, honey. Like, not every man has that kink where they want a woman who's in control of something.
Yeah. I think for us to be good partners with each other, they're just really, I think, communication is
I
all.
agree.
But, you know, it is the cult. There's a total standard in culture.
Yeah.
There's a total, I mean, like, that's just what it is right now. I think people are going to maybe break it down individually, but I think it's good to have conversations like this because people need to understand that it's not just you feeling that way privately, it's both sexes and
Feeling
we're
that way.
all feeling like this.
Well, I think you also have to remember, too, is like, every partner you're with is so fucking different than the partner you're with before. Like, yes, technically it's sex and it's all the same, but like, what I've found is like what one partner does to me that really turns me on doesn't necessarily mean that another partner who does that same thing gets me going that way.
So you're saying it's different from person? It's not even that it's your body, it's that the person that you're with?
Sometimes, yeah. I found that.
Interesting.
I found that sometimes, like, I'll like a certain thing, and then when someone else does it to me, I don't like their energy, and it doesn't feel good anymore, and I'm like, oh, I don't like this anymore. But it's not because, like, they're doing it wrong or anything. It's just that sometimes it's different with someone. Everybody approaches things a little bit differently.
True.
That's why I'm like, my biggest slogan is, like, I always try everything twice. Not once, because what if it's not right the first time?
True.
Try it twice. Try it from two separate places and then make your fucking decision. Don't try something once and be like, ugh, not into it. Because I've made that mistake before. I've made the mistake of being like, ugh, I don't like noodles. Just because I had shitty noodles. But then I went somewhere and had really good noodles and I was like, yo, noodles though. It's like chow mein. I know you don't eat Chinese food. But like, some places have real good fucking chow mein. Some places, fucking terrible chow mein. But does that mean I can't definitively say like I don't like chow mein? I could be like, I only like chow mein from this chow mein place, but I can't be like, overall chow mein's garbage.
Interesting.
Different cooks in the kitchen, man.
Different cooks in the kitchen.
Everybody got a little different spices. They like some pepper, some salt, some garlic.
Okay, so I'd really like us to get recording now because we're at 27 minutes. We're at 28 minutes now. I think we should start recording. We
All right,
wasted
bye.
a lot of fucking time.
All right, bye.